The first lesson is that you make better decisions and learn more by assuming you don't know everything. It took me a while to realize this because, in college, it was all about showing how smart you were, talking a lot in group meetings and always raising your hand in class. I carried this habit into the real world, but I wasn't learning much because I was always the one talking. After boasting about my accomplishments a few times, only to discover the person I was talking to was way ahead in their field, I felt embarrassed and ashamed. I knew I had to change how I approach conversations with new people. While I still talk a lot, learning this lesson earlier would have made a big difference. You can't learn if you're the one always talking. To make better decisions, you need to learn first, and that means listening more than speaking. I also realized that letting others praise me was much more effective than bragging about myself. This change in approach taught me the value of listening more and talking less. The second lesson is that the toughest respect to earn is self-respect. Back in high school and college, I had a bad reputation because of some irresponsible choices and not living up to the values I wanted to stand for. Even though I felt ashamed, I didn't change until I had a conversation with my father. He told me to stop being irresponsible and to start earning respect by changing my actions. At first, nothing seemed different on the outside, but as I started to improve my behavior, my reputation got better too. It all began with respecting myself first, and then others started to respect me as well. The third lesson is about shaping how people think and talk about your products or services. To market your business effectively, you need to give people the right words to describe what you offer. If you can't clearly explain your business, others won't be able to either. Lesson 4 is that you get more out of reading one great book several times than from reading a bunch of average ones. I don't always read books cover to cover. I often skim through and set aside the ones that aren't valuable. Older books tend to be better because they were written to truly share knowledge. When I find a book that's worth it, I read it over and over until I can teach what it says. If a book doesn't change how I think or act, it's not worth my time. My approach is to dive deep into valuable material until it transforms the way I understand and live my life. Lesson 5 is that most champions don't have something you don't. They just use their time differently. They cut out distractions and focus intensely on their goals. Champions are very protective of their time and are willing to sacrifice more than others. They don't get sidetracked by new opportunities. Instead, they stay laser-focused on their vision. It took me a long time to learn this. The sixth lesson is that goodwill grows faster than money. Goodwill is all about positive feelings and influence over others. While money grows slowly, goodwill can spread quickly from one person to another. Building an audience and cultivating goodwill can be more effective and quicker than just focusing on making money. You can turn goodwill into money if you want, but it usually grows much faster than financial assets. Lesson 7 is that amazing achievements come from sticking with ordinary tasks over a long time. When I was younger, I wanted quick fixes and shortcuts, but I learned that truly mastering something comes from dedication and consistent effort. The secret to extraordinary results is staying committed to your actions, not the actions themselves. Lesson 8 is that if something is worth doing, it's worth doing right. I used to rush through tasks, but I've learned that if a task matters, it deserves my full attention. Knowing how important a task is helps me prioritize it and make sure it's done well, leading to better results in the long run. Lesson 9 is to negotiate everything except your core values. At first, I took terms as they were and didn't realize that most things can be negotiated. Good negotiation is about finding mutual benefits instead of treating it like a win-lose situation. Knowing what you and others truly want helps you make better deals and build strong relationships. Lesson 10 is that a happy person has many wishes, while a sad person has just one. I used to care a lot about what others thought and trying to feel better. However, I learned that focusing on my progress rather than seeking approval brings real peace. Accepting where I am and working on improving helps me shift my focus from wanting approval to growing personally.